both to the gap and, of course, to sustainable development goals in general. We've completed the decade of education for sustainable development, and we have learned a great deal. We've learned a great deal, and we want to build upon that and move forward. And this afternoon we are going to be discussing and talking about that. The pilot projects that we developed both before and during the gap, we now want to build up and strengthen and move from the periphery to the core. But we also have another agenda that we think is possible. We think that we can actually strengthen the quality of our education systems by engaging with the social, environmental, and economic issues that are facing our communities, our nations, and the world. Bringing that kind of realism into the education system and having our education systems truly engage with these real issues would be a way of strengthening the perception and the reality of public education, public awareness, and training programs. At the same time, we think that educators, trainers, and those engaged in NGOs and faith-based groups, those who help to inform the public, we would have a role to play in actually having the Sustainable Development Goals come true. So it would be a two-way street. Traditionally, those of us engaged in ESD are sort of an afterthought. Once nations have built their plans, they sometimes come to us. But often we're the ones still that are not integrated into these kinds of plans. And so what we want to do is to learn how to become partners, true partners, right from the very beginning. In doing that, we need to know how to talk about it, we have to know how to present ourselves, and we need to know how what we have to offer can truly be recognized and accepted as an integral part of our national plans. So this afternoon, what we want to do is to hear, first of all, about the Global Action Program. That is the sort of a formal way of engaging through UNESCO's programs, engaging with the Sustainable Development Goals. We also want to learn more about how our education systems can fit in with what ministers of education see as their priority, and that's Education 2030. There's Muscat and the agreement that came from that. There is also the agreement, the largest gathering ever of ministers of education to that date in Aichi, Nagoya, agreed to revisit the purpose of education and to look at how to embed both education for sustainable development and also the global citizenship and global education program. Now, we have an opportunity in this coming year because ministers will be trying to figure out what to do. Education systems formally will be trying to figure out what to do. And so will the various other ministries within the government, as they each need to come up with their own plans and programs. So there is an opening, and we want to be able to move in and truly become a partner in it. So to begin with, you can see we have a number of speakers. We will, each person will get about 10 minutes and to talk about their particular aspect. In some cases, it is mainly about the gap or the commitments that their institutions have made and how they are going to go about it. But then as we move on through the program, there will be speakers who are talking in a more general way that hopefully will engage each and every one of you. Everyone has something to contribute. You all are experts and have strengths, and bringing it, whether it is to the international program, the national program, or even in your own local setting, each of them are extremely important. So to begin with, I'd like to call on someone I think you all know, Alexander Light, who is the chief of the section on ESD at UNESCO, to introduce us to the GAP. Thank you.